Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the season of the College Football Tailgate. This is the Week 0 preview. In lieu of doing my normal cut-ins, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the Tailgate episode with Chase. This is the season as it begins. Join me, XFL Jim, Chase Lupine Fiasco Sessoms, and Erik, a.k.a. Uncle Rico Magoo, as we guide you through each and every game of the college football season through 2024. From Delaware State and Hawaii to Florida State, Georgia Tech, this is Week 0. We have it all. College football is finally fucking here, boys. It's a Van Halen shirt. Do you hate Van Halen? Do you hate America?
I think he was talking about the jacket. It's a jacket.
Well, I thought I would dress up for Week 0. I thought I would dress up for the beginning of the college football season. Excuse me for trying to be presentable.
I think you did a great job.
I think you were.
I love it.
Dude.
I appreciate it. Also, I thought it'd be fun to start the season. I'm gonna tornado this beer real quick.
Oh, God.
It's a great time.
Oh, look at that tornado. Rarely do we get the... There we go. Ooh. That's how you start. Kegs and eggs, baby. Kegs and eggs.
Eggs and eggs.
Erik, you been having some late nights?
Nah, no comment.
Oh, God, that was a little much for the morning.
That seems like it was a bit extra.
All right, boys, we got 4 games to go through. Nice and simple. Keep it high and tight. Game number 1 in Dublin. We have Florida State, Georgia Tech. Florida State is a 10.5 point favorite. Plus 360 on the money line for the Yellow Jackets. Over under set at 55. Oh, God. Anybody got any action in this one?
I do.
We'll start with Chase. That we all do.
For one, let me go ahead and say I am high on this Georgia Tech team. I am going to take them to cover with the 10.5 here. I think that, for one, playing in a different country, I don't see a lot of points being scored, which is actually going to put me on the under. I'm big time on this under 55.5. The unders taker is making a debut early in the season. I really think that, playing in another country, being out of your routine, and then also playing against a difficult team, this might end up being a little bit of a rock fight with Georgia Tech and Florida State. So give me the points with Georgia Tech and give me the under 55.5.
Erik, go ahead.
I did a player prop here. Give me Williams from Florida State. I did over 66.5 yards rushing. Florida State has one of the better offensive lines in the ACC, 190 career starts. Coming back, they're going up against the linebacker core that could be the worst in the ACC. Bottom 7 is very weak. This is going to be a lot of outside zone. Williams averaged 3.4 yards after contact. He's transferring from Bama. He's finally going to get a big workload. And we need to remember the thing that makes DJU good is the run game to set up the pass. I think Florida State's really going to lean on this run game. So I did Williams over 66.5 yards rushing.
I like that one quite a bit. I might jump on that one. Chase.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. I'm lockstep with you on Georgia Tech. I took Georgia Tech plus the 10.5. I couldn't get there on the total because in the back of my mind I remembered the last Dublin game where it was Nebraska Northwestern. Do you remember how many points were in that one?
I don't. I was wondering if we had any historical data on what's happened because we've had like 3 games in Dublin now, and I remember one was a blowout, Notre Dame against Navy.
Yes.
I don't remember the score to the Nebraska Northwestern game.
The total ended up it was 31-28, so 59. They hit 59, and I feel like Georgia Tech is a much better offense than either of those teams.
That's fair.
I'm a little worried, but I respect it. I understand what your conclusion was.
listen, these kids went out and partied in Dublin. There's no way they didn't sneak
100%.
out past bad check and go out and party in Dublin. So I think you're going to have a lot of hungover, beer shits kind of performances on today.
I hate the Lakers asking any round robins. You bet your ass there's round robins. You bet your ass there's round robins today, fool. Up next, we have Montana State versus New Mexico. Montana State, the FCS, is favored 13 points. They're a 13-point road favorite against New Mexico. Plus 375 on the money line for New Mexico, and the over-under is 54.5. We touching this one, boys.
I fired it away. I fired away.
Well, give it to me, Erik. So I texted Erik about this a few days ago. I don't think I got to him. I tried using Erik's logic to get him to pick Montana State in this one. I had stats, I had historical data, I had trends, I had it all. What'd you pick, Erik?
New Mexico plus 13.5.
Oh, you bitch!
Montana State lost 3 offensive linemen. Both guards are going into this game a little bit banged up. We don't know if they're going to play. Their star running back banged up. He's trending toward playing, but he could. Depth behind them is a little weak. Last year, Montana State had this 2 quarterback, a running quarterback, a passing quarterback. They lost one of them. They're implementing a whole new scheme offensively and defensively, both 2 new play callers. First game going to New Mexico to play. They also are a little bit, and the thing is New Mexico added size up front, so I think that size is going to be able to limit Montana State's run game. New Mexico, I think they have the offensive line that's going to be able to protect their quarterback. I think they're going to be able to move the ball. I think they have the advantage in the trenches. So, I'm taking New Mexico State plus a 13.5 or plus 410.
I ended up staying away. If this was going to be like around 10, I was going to take Montana State, but anything over 10.5, I didn't feel comfortable jumping on. I hate the Lakers is asking, did you guys see Pat McAfee drunk?
No.
Erik, we know you're the biggest McAfee fan on the show.
No. I have never watched that, whatever he does, or listened to whatever he does.
I did not.
Dude,
I did not see it.
That commercial he's got with Stephen A. Smith right now, where they're wearing each other's clothes, is just unbearable to watch.
I haven't heard it. I've seen it on the background in bars and just seen it.
Yeah, it's the way he pronounces champion gets to me.
Yeah, he does. He tries to do like a weird Pittsburgh accent every once in a while too. I'm out. I'm fully out on McAfee.
About time, dude. I mean,
no, I was out like last year because he got super annoying.
Yeah,
I think if he was only on the game day, I think I'd be okay. If that's the only thing he did with ESPN.
I don't even know the last time I watched game day.
Let's make some money. Says Chase Travers picks. Talk to me. We'll get Chase with the Travers picks.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And then also he says, "What's up with the Georgia Tech money line movement?"
It's still where I saw it last night at plus 350. So where it's moved from, I don't know. It's I kind of want to sprinkle just a little bit to be honest on that money line, but I'm going to.
My thought is maybe there's an injury or suspension we don't know about, just because when I was looking at it, I think it opened up at 13. And then also Florida State's game for next week, that started to drop. So that makes me think somebody knows something about an injury or something. You know what I mean?
Maybe somebody knows something about the fact that we kind of know what DJU is, and he's kind of a mediocre quarterback.
I think that's me 100%.
Like, I don't understand why Florida State's getting all this love. DJU's fine. He's not great. Like, even at Oregon State, he was like decent.
Can I get my take on DJU?
Yeah, get it out.
DJU made a career off of one good start against Notre Dame when he was a freshman at Clemson. He's rode that hype ever since.
He's got a good arm, though. I'll give him that. Does have a good arm.
He's got a
He's like
a tough name to pronounce.
He's like a I'll say he's like a Dollar Tree Joe Milton.
Oof.
Yeah. Up
like
next,
that.
7 p.m. God's time, Central Time, we have SMU versus Nevada, newly instated ACC team SMU. SMU is a 27.5-point road favorite in Nevada. The Wolfpack of Nevada are plus 1,500 on the money line. The over-under is 55.5. Guys, Nevada might be one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in FBS.
I don't know. I like 4 touchdowns. That's a lot for an opener because they're going to end up sitting starters and stuff. But I do like the total here. I like the over. I like the over 55.5.
Thank you,
SMU will
Chase.
put up points.
I, too, am on the over in this game. SMU will put up points, and I don't know if I fully believe in SMU's defense not to allow, touchdown and a couple field goals. That's really all I need out of Nevada.
So
Yeah.
Here's my question to you guys. What's the SMU's coach name based on?
Rhett Lashley.
Yeah, Rhett Lashley.
He came
Touchdown
out.
Rhett Lashley.
He came out and he said that both quarterbacks are going to get time. In this day and age of transfer portals, when we have games like this, are we going to see teams not back off? You know what I mean?
And just let both quarterbacks go at it?
Well, no, I'm just saying that way it's like, okay, we're going to let this guy go. We're going to see what he can do. We're going to allow him to put some tape on so maybe he can enter the transfer portal, try to keep him happy, especially at the beginning part of the season because they can still leave right now. Was it the first 3 or 4 weeks? You know what I mean? Just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there.
I think we'll definitely see more split quarterback things, especially early on in the season, just because I think that's when you're scheduling your cupcakes. That's when it doesn't matter as much. And then maybe you can kind of have a guy just take over once conference play fully begins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on the over, by the way. Erik, did you touch anything in this one or no?
I am done for the day, sadly.
You were done after 11.
Actually,
no, you were done after 3. Sorry.
I am done for the day.
Well, there's an 11 p.m. game, our time, boys. Hawaii, Delaware State. Hawaii is a 40-point home favorite against Delaware State with the total set at 55.5. Couldn't even find a money line for Georgia State. For Delaware State.
Can I speak on this game for a little bit? Can I just?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead, Erik.
Please.
So number one, Hawaii has UCLA on deck. Why are they gonna run it up? That's thought process number one. You know what I mean? Why are they gonna go out? Why are they gonna put all this stuff on tape for UCLA to prep for? That's number one. Number two, who the hell is Delaware State's traveling coordinator? That person needs to get fired immediately. I mean, a bus snafu. The thing was, the bus showed up late. That's the snafu that happened. The bus showed up late. So their traveling thing, they need to be fired. Last thing is, this is on Spectrum pay-per-view. Did you guys see how much it cost?
No, how much was it? Hawaii always does crap like that. Remember when they were on Stadium forever and the best way to watch their games was on Facebook 4 years ago?
$79.
Fuck that.
So shout out whoever's going to do a Twitch stream showing this game.
Yeah.
$79.
Shout out, not a sponsor. I don't know if they could even be a sponsor, but would love them to be a sponsor. Stream East. For those of you who don't know, Stream East.
Right.
The best way to watch sports. They said something when someone said something about Disney or whoever or ESPN or someone coming after him. It's like, we have more servers than Google. We have more things spread across the land than anyone knows what to do with. You will never shut us down.
That is
I tried to go on Stream East. I couldn't get a thing to work.
Ad block, Erik. You need ad block when you go, but it works great for me.
That's right, because didn't Christian get a bunch of gay porn ads?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was for one of the UFL games this year, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Chase, did you take anything in Delaware State, Hawaii?
Yeah, give me Delaware State plus 39.5 here. Listen, like, I understand Delaware State, FCS team. I understand they had travel problems. You can't fucking tell me that this Hawaii team is capable of beating anybody by 40. There's no way on the planet that this Hawaii team is capable of beating a team by 40. So I like Delaware State here and plus Erik has a good point. They got UCLA on deck. Why, if they do end up kicking the shit out of Delaware State, why are they going to show, a lot of what they have? They might think they have a fighting chance against UCLA. So yeah, give me Delaware State to cover, because there's no way in hell I trust Hawaii to cover 40 fucking points.
God damn it, Chase, I'm in. I'm in. If it were the Blue Hens, I'd be all in. I'd put my entire bankroll on those Blue Hens covering, but it's not. It's the actual bad Delaware State team. It's the bad Delaware team.
50U whale play?
No, Erik, I got that. It's Montana State money. It's SMU money line is the 50U whale play. To be a real tout, you got to get those, like, you just got to, like, say the numbers and put, like, I'm putting 600 units down on SMU to win the game. And then people won't look. Some people will just be completely oblivious that you're putting that money down on a minus 1,500.
Right. I'm seeing it at minus 3,000 right now.
Oh, gross.
Really
Double gross.
Extremely gross.
Whale play. Let's lock it in, boys.
Okay, boys. Do we want to do the round robin first and then get into the playoff talk and then Travers talk? I think that's the good way to do it. Do we have round robins, boys?
I got one.
Chase? Erik, you go first on this one.
Chase can go.
Chase, you go, then Erik, then me.
Mine's really simple. It's going to be Georgia Tech plus the 10.5. It's going to be the over 55.5 in SMU and Nevada. And then I'm going to take Delaware State plus 39.5 in the round robin. So, yeah. I'm going to do that, of course, as two leggers.
Erik, what do you got?
So I did Williams to have over 90 yards rushing, New Mexico on the money line, and I had I needed a third one. I had to go to the UFC, and I'm sorry if that's cheating.
It's not. No, we're fans of the multi-sport.
I did Hill and Ricci to one of the fighters to win by split decision.
Okay, I dig it. I did just a multi-sport one. It was just 3 teams. Pretty simple. Keep it loose. Keep it fun. I did the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on the money line. I went to the NFL preseason and sprinkled a little on the Chargers. Chargers versus the Cowboys. I like the Chargers this preseason. And then I went up north to the CFL, and I'm taking Erik's Ottawa Red Blacks plus 105 against the BC Lions. Even in Nathan Rourke's his second start of the season, I believe in this Red Blacks team.
Yeah, dude.
Nice little 3-bet 2-team parlay plus 23.47. But that's not all I have. That is not all I have, folks. Because it is college football and we are back. You know the teasers are back.
Yay.
Yeah, baby. That's damn right, Erik. I'm teasing. It's week 0. I'm teasing every game. I'm teasing all 4.
Oh my God, Jim.
I'm teasing all 4. So here we go. We have Georgia Tech teased up to plus 16.5. We're teasing SMU Nevada's total down to 49.5. They're going to clear 50 burger, no problem. Then I'm going to tease New Mexico up to 19.5. And finally, I'm jumping with Chase. I'm teasing Delaware State to plus 46. It's a 4-team teaser, plus 300. Sit it, forget it. You're going to win some money. Let's Make Some Money says SMU, the total is the one that will burn me.
I don't know. I like that total quite a bit. SMU puts up a ton of points.
If that's the one that burns me, I'll write that down. If that burns me, I'll Venmo you like $10. So that's the teaser plus 300.
That's one of the best.
Deal.
Do you see Desmond Howard do that shit on College Game Day? Nope.
Okay, so let's see. I'll write that down. Chase, while I'm writing this down, regale the people with the Travers.
Yeah, so the question with the Travers is going to be, can Fierceness run back-to-back good performances? I'm taking the gamble and saying that Fierceness can. I think Fierceness is your best horse in the race if he runs his race. So I'm taking Fierceness to win at 3-1, and then I'm playing an exact Fierceness over Dornock and Sierra Leone because I think those are the two horses that are closing in behind Fierceness.
I like that, Chase. Let's Make Some Money did say, take the 10 and put it on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl instead, which I will do. I'll do that for you.
I think you force the money on him. You force him to take the Venmo.
I'll take what. Hey, if they want me to make a specific bet instead, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Take the money, boy.
I'm a man of the people.
Shut up and take my money.
I'm a man of the people before anything else. All right, boys. Any other takes on week 0 besides I'm glad it's here? And personally, I think they should do more international games to start off the season. I think it's fun.
I'm glad we opened with what should be the banger of the we don't have to wait until like 7 for this game. It's just right off the bat at 11, ready to go. It'll be over well before my horse racing starts. So, let's get
also, just as a personal thing, I much prefer international play to them playing like the opening game in NFL stadiums.
Why is that?
True.
I just feel like international is like a very fun, quirky thing that I love about college football. When they play in NFL stadiums, it just feels soulless to me.
It feels empty, doesn't it?
Like it feels like
they don't
corporate.
ever pack. They don't ever like pack the places out like when they're in like Orlando and shit.
Yeah, not a fan. Are you boys now ready for our college football playoff predictions? These will be brought up again at the end of the year. Just so everyone's aware.
We're not going to do one every week.
Fuck no. No.
Yeah, that's fair.
Erik, why don't you start us off?
Well, how are we doing this?
I just want you to go through your entire playoff, how it plays out, all the way to the Natty.
All right, so in the first round, I have Georgia beating Ole Miss in the 8-9 matchup.
So you have Georgia not winning the SEC.
No.
I love it.
The 5-12, I have Ohio State beating Texas State.
Texas State. Ooh.
The 10-11, I have Va-Tech beating Oklahoma State. And the 7-10, I have LSU beating Oregon.
Okay. Then we get to the second round.
Second round, I have Bama over Georgia. I have Ohio State over Notre Dame, Utah over Va-Tech, and Penn State over LSU.
And for your semifinals,
I have, and this is where it kills me, Ohio State over Alabama and Utah over Penn State.
And who do you have winning the national championship?
I have Utah.
Attaboy. Chase, what are you rocking with?
All right, so starting at the top of the bracket, I've got Texas beating Memphis in the 5-12. I've got Alabama beating Oklahoma State in the 8-9. I've got Ole Miss beating Mizzou in the 6-11. Then I've got Oregon beating Penn State in the 7-10. Then in the quarterfinals, I've got Texas beating number 4 UCF. I got Alabama losing to number 1 Georgia. I've got Louisville beating Ole Miss. I've got Oregon beating Ohio State. Then the semifinals, I got Georgia beating Texas, Oregon beating Louisville, and then Georgia beating Oregon. That's fitting. That's
on brand, dude.
That is very much on brand. Chase, similar to you, I hated mine as soon as I was finished filling it out. So here's mine. I got App State over Notre Dame.
Whoa.
To open it up. Yep. I have my G5 team winning. I've got Iowa over Missouri. I have Texas over. Who did I have here? I have Texas over Kansas State. And I have Penn State over Ole Miss. Up next, I have Utah over App State, Ohio State over Iowa, Clemson over Texas, and Georgia over Penn State. For my semifinals, I have Ohio State over Utah, Georgia over Clemson, and then I have Ohio State winning the national championship.
Can you guys guess who the most bet team is to make the college football playoffs?
I'm going to guess Georgia.
I'm going to guess, I think Georgia's like a minus number.
Oh, never mind.
People are dumb.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Texas.
Iowa.
Damn it. Chase, I hate that we're on the public side. I hate that we're on the public side. I hate
public
that.
dogs have fleas. That's
fucking
bad.
hate that.
That's tough for us.
We love it. Well, dude, their schedule's so cake.
Yeah, we love Iowa this season, man. I instantly, like, what's funny is I did my bracket and then I was like, fuck, I completely forgot Iowa. Like, what? How did I do this after just banging the drum for Iowa for our entire Big Ten preview?
I had the same logic for putting Iowa in that I did for Missouri. Lots of returning people, production. The defense is going to be great for Iowa. Their offense, I figured it has to improve, and their schedule is easy.
I mean, their schedule's cake.
Like, if Iowa wins 10, 11 games, they're in, right?
I think if anyone wins 10, 11 games in the Big Ten, they're in.
Well, dude, the fucking issue I ran into, Erik, is we previewed the SEC this week.
Yeah.
I had like 3 or 4 teams winning. I think I had 5 teams at like 10 wins because they don't play each other.
There's some cake schedules in the SEC.
But I mean, I have what? Bama, Georgia. Yeah.
Ole Miss. Did you have Ole Miss?
I had Ole Miss. And I had 4 teams in, and I had 5. And I truthfully, I didn't have Oklahoma State. I had a different. Who'd I have? I had Missouri in there, but I took them out just because I didn't think they were going to give them 5.
I have 5. I got 5 in there. Yeah.
I listened to one that had like the entire semifinals was all repeat matchups, and then I think the national championship was Ohio State, Oregon, so they would have played 3 times that season.
You know what my notes are for Oregon? Loaded roster, only if they had a better quarterback.
Sick burn.
You've been out on Gabriel for a minute.
But what has he done? You know what I mean? Everyone's ready to anoint this guy that he's like all that. Like,
I don't know if he's all that, but I don't know if like this just isn't a great, strong quarterback year.
If he had knees, the man doesn't have knees anymore.
And I mean, like, Oregon's going to the Big Ten. This is a whole different breed of defensive linemen they're facing. Now, granted, I know their offensive line is big, it's stout, but it's a completely different defensive system. Dylan Gabriel, he looked good in the Texas game. Texas kind of let him back in last year. Looked awful in UCF. Looked awful against Kansas, who couldn't stop a nosebleed last year. I kind of think people are just buying the hype a little bit, and he's going to cost them 1 or 2 games. That's going to prevent them from winning the Big Ten.
I can see it.
I felt the Big Ten needed to have 3 teams, and that's how I kind of added on them. I think Michigan's going to take a huge step backwards. Iowa, I'm not sipping the Kool-Aid. So by default, I got an LSU. I got Oregon in here.
Well, what are you feeling about Penn State?
I think their new offense is going to be great. I think their offense is going to be flying. I bet them to win the Big Ten. I think their offense, from what I've read, their quarterback looks phenomenal in the offense he's picking up. Singletary looks solid, hitting the hole, running great. And who's the other running back? He looks just as good. Whose name I'm spacing on.
How do you feel about being on James Franklin?
I hate the fact I'm on Terry Franklin. I hate the fact I'm bad. For those who don't know, Terry was a guy I went to college with who I couldn't stand. So,
all right, folks. I think that'll do it for the first episode of the actual season for the College Football Tailgate. We'll see you next week for a very long Week 1 picks show. Love you guys. Follow Chase out of Oaklawn. Follow Erik at eTop21 Sports. Follow me at XFL Jim. And stay tuned next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for special episodes of the College Football